Buffalo is going to win it home.
Kick your heels up and shout.
Let's see why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Now, baby, come on, come on.
No one
Come on
circles the
and
wagon
shout.
like the Buffalo Bills.
All right, we are live, and we are back.
Sir.
Welcome to another episode of the Overdue Bills podcast, and we're definitely excited today. Big win. Like, I'm not gonna lie, big win. But I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm not gonna overdo it, right? Even though, no pun intended, I'm not gonna overdo it because it's business as usual. That's how I look at it. It's business as usual. We got somewhere to be, we got somewhere to go, and if we don't get there, then it's a problem for me. But with that being said, let me introduce the guys. I know they're happy. It is what it is. Act like you've been there before, but
we have
exactly. So that's why I'm not gonna scream. But Matt, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Fresh off of a.
You go, Matt. Yeah.
Fresh off of a Buckeyes win. Oh yeah. All right. Fresh off of for me.
Shout out, Matt. I think Matt. I don't know. That's crazy. Matt, it's like your internet kind of went crazy. I don't know if I know for everybody out there, we're in the storm. We're in the storm right now. It's a lot going on in the city. I don't know if Matt's internet is going crazy, but I think he said fresh off a Buckeye win. I know Matt.
Shout out to the Buckeyes, man. Great.
Yeah, was in those things. You know what I'm saying? Some people in spirits, some people in gambling. You do the math. But Rad, how you doing today, man? What's up?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great, feeling great. We back in the AFC Championship game. Man, feels good, man. It's a little deja vu who we playing. Obviously, big. We're gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna enjoy the moment. I don't care. A lot of people didn't have us in this game. A lot of people thought we was in a rebuild. A lot of people thought, we was taking a step back before we take a step forward. But here we are, back in the AFC Championship game. We had a beautiful game this Sunday, so I'm excited.
Okay, let's do this. OverdueBillsPod.com. OverdueBillsPod.com. That's the website. You can find all your Overdue Bills content, all your Overdue Bills merch. So please tap in with us. And also, let me say this. Shout out to Buffalo fan base. We appreciate the collab with them. So we ask you to like and share, rate, and review. Subscribe to those channels as well. And before we get into the nitty-gritty of the show, we do have a special guest. Who listen, this guest has been with us for a while now, since we started the pod. I'm gonna be honest, since we started the pod. And it's crazy, since we really started the pod, we've been in this rivalry. With the Chiefs, and he's been with us every step of the way. But before we bring him on, Matt, if you would be so kind, let the people know who is sponsoring our show today.
Yes, sir. This episode and every other episode of the Overdue Bills podcast is brought to you by Art of Glass Smoke Shop. Just like the Bills on the field, Art of Glass Smoke Shop lights the competition up. Western New York's one-stop shop for any and all of your smoking needs. Art of Glass has a huge selection of CBD, kratom, scales, rolling papers, and so much more. Stop in any one of their Western New York locations and get everything you need. They also offer a premium cigar lounge located at 3495 Delaware Avenue in Kenmore. Stop in, check them out today. Mention the Overdue Bills podcast at any one of their locations. You get 50% off all glass purchases. Also, if you go to their cigar lounge, you will be granted a complimentary day pass to go in, check out the lounge. I highly recommend it. I'm a member there. It's awesome. If you're a cigar person, you definitely want to check it out. Also, if you're looking for somewhere to watch the game this week, they will have the game. So definitely, that's a good spot to go. Shout out our guys at Art of Glass and, check them out.
Tap in.
Definitely tap into Art of Glass. Definitely tap into Art of Glass. Listen, like I said, Like, share, rate, and review. Do that right now. Share the video, share the video, share the video, share the video on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Overdue Bills Pod. You know, we're everywhere. Shout out to the Buffalo fan base once again. Listen, I told you we got a special guest. We appreciate our guy. Listen, and to every Bills Mafia fan, I want you to be respectful, but I also want you to be honest as well in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We can bring our guy on. Listen, shout out to our guy CJ. We can bring him on, Rad. Bring him on. CJ, how you doing,
fellas?
How you doing?
Yes, sir. A little too much red on that screen, but we
That's crazy. You know, I got to match the thing.
All right.
Listen. Shout out to our special guest, CJ. CJ, how you doing today, man? Let me just say that.
Man, God is great. I made it home safely today. We've been in like negative degrees like the last 3 days.
Tell me about it,
man. So I'm just glad to be born, bro.
Yesterday supposed to be tomorrow. Tomorrow supposed to be -4 down over here. So
hey, we in the same boat, bro. Crazy.
Let me ask you this, even before, just as an aside, as far as the weather, what are they saying about the weather about the game? Just quickly.
I think it should be similar to last week. Like no, like crazy, but it should be like high as like 25, 30 that day. Nothing crazy. Pretty much same as last week. So definitely warmer than today.
Little summertime game.
Yeah, it feels like
it. Just making sure. All right. Y'all know how we started every show. Listen, we appreciate everybody on. Shout out to the chat. Chat going crazy right now. Quick question of the day. I wanted to ask this to everybody out there. I actually have a few questions, but I do want to ask because we've seen a lot of high-level quarterbacking, right, as it relates to the NFL as a whole, right? Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen. I mean, to some degree, a lesser note, Lamar Jackson, and even, I'm just being honest, Pat Mahomes. The list goes on and on. But I wanted to ask this question. Matt talked about, and this is another sport, but he says, Matt, you're getting into the Hall of Fame. But I wanted to ask about football. As it stands right now, if granted, we don't want this to happen, but if careers ended today, who out of the current quarterbacks is going to the Hall of Fame? And obviously, we can, push past Aaron Rodgers, so on and so forth. But obviously, we're talking about the main quarterbacks. And I'm going to ask CJ first. Do you think anybody right now, if their career ended today, who would be a Hall of Famer as a quarterback? And I want you to answer that in the comments as well.
Hall of Famers today, obviously A-Rod for sure. Who else is getting in? That's still playing. It's tough. Obviously Mahomes.
Mahomes, straight up.
Yeah, Mahomes is in. Yeah, I think he's kind of certified himself. The debatable ones, I had this debate all the time. Matt Stafford. I'm like, he does have the ring. I think he's top 10 all time in passing yards too. Yeah. So he has an argument, but I think the consistency throughout his career is kind of iffy. But that's a debatable one. But I think that'll probably be the two for me. Be A-Rod and Pat for sure, and then Stafford's a debatable one. And then there's some other guys knocking on the door, but not there yet so far. Those will probably be the three for me.
Interesting. I like to hear it. Matt, as it stands right now today, he's a Chiefs fan. I just want everybody to know that. Who's a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta piggyback on the same ones, and then the same knocking on the door. I think the only one that really comes to mind, who's kind of been tarnishing his resume the last couple of years, is Russell Wilson.
I thought about that.
He had the chance to ascend, and he's definitely on the descend. As it stands right now, I think that's all I got.
Wow. Rat, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think, I mean, to be honest, I know we just beat him. I think Lamar with 2 MVPs. I think he got the record for most rushing yards as a quarterback. I think he's done enough with the 2 MVPs in the yards. I think he will probably. I think time would do well for him because of his accolades. If he ended right now, so yeah, I think I will throw Lamar in that as well because of the 2 MVPs. And he probably especially if you get a third one. If he win a third MVP, that's
a rare air, boy.
You have to be a Hall of Famer, right? Like, I mean, I don't see how you cannot be.
He's one of the ones knocking on the door for me for sure. He's there.
Interesting. So obviously, elephant in the room, and the reason why I asked this question is because I wanted to know from everybody, especially even in the comments. We talked about people who are knocking on the door. Obviously, Josh Allen is one of those people who are knocking on the door. But I wanted to ask you all in this estimation, since we're going to play a quarterback who is a Hall of Famer, by all estimations. Pat Mahomes is a Hall of Famer right now, as it stands. So my question is to everybody in the comments and even you, and I'm going to Matt first. Matt, what do you think Josh Allen has to do to get into that category? Is it just as simple as winning a Super Bowl this year?
I think if he gets one, you put him in, just because of he's got those years. 5 years in a row with over 40 total touchdowns, rushing, passing. Having consistent seasons of winning and just doing the things that he does. I think a Super Bowl gets him over the edge, especially in this era. You compare it, I guess, to. He's got plenty of time left to get the stats with it too, but I think the Super Bowl win will solidify it, down the line. He has to win a Super Bowl though, or else he's teetering around Phillip Rivers territory, which I don't want him to be there.
Wow.
That's just honest, for me.
Why not Dan Marino? Why can't he be Dan?
Well, because it can be, but I think it's more. I think Phil is more.
Did Dan get to an AFC championship game?
He got the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, you got Super Bowl.
That one.
That one. Yep.
Wow. I wanted to. I'll throw that to Matt. I don't necessarily have to go around the table unless Rad, you want to talk about it. You think
I think the same thing. I think a similar quarterback who probably not gonna get in the Hall of Fame, shorter career like Andrew Luck, right? We understand he was a great talent. If he kept playing, he probably would have got in. Yes. But Andrew Luck, Andrew Luck was one of those guys. He was a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the league when he was playing. So, but he's not gonna get in. So I'm saying that's what I mean. So you need that Super Bowl.
I don't know about that, but shout out to Andrew Luck.
But you don't think he gonna get? You don't think he gonna get? You think he'll get in?
No.
Okay.
Listen, I wanted to just have a quick icebreaker. I just wanted to hear that because it's been a lot of talk about quarterback play, and obviously we're seeing a lot of things happening in front of our eyes. But we got to we're about to get into the game. I know we want to talk about it. I want to get into the nitty-gritty of the game because I think these are two different teams that are matching up, right? Than previous years that we have matched up, right? These are two different teams. But before we kind of get into that, I do want to ask some questions about the Houston game, and we have to talk about the Baltimore game. We just have to. But I want to go to CJ first. And I know this theme has been brought up so many times, right? It has. I think on the last episode that he was on when we beat the Chiefs, let's talk about it. We did beat the Chiefs. We talked about this, and I want to ask everybody in the comments how y'all feel because honestly, there's been so many memes out there as it relates to the Chiefs and the entire nation in reffing, right? And how the game is officiated, right? People are saying that the Chiefs are the new Patriots. They highlighted some things in the Houston game. And I really want to know, I like, honest to God, like, granted, if it's my team, then it's my team. But you're an honest man. You're a man of the cloth. You know what I'm saying? You believe in them. And so my question is to you, CJ. How do Chiefs fans feel about the NFL cheating for the Chiefs? Right? And I'm just asking. Listen, as a fan, a pure fan. No, seriously.
No, absolutely.
Everybody in the comments want to know this. Like, right? Yeah. Like we're trying to figure out how do you all feel? Because we feel away. How do you all feel when y'all see like, man, that's crazy. Like they're cheating.
No, I mean, growing up,
seriously.
Yeah, we all around the same age, right? Like we all grew up watching like all the dynasties. I tell my friends, like we all watched Bama dominate for a decade. We all watched UConn women's basketball. We watched the Lakers in their prime. We watched the Warriors dominate in their era. We watched obviously back in the day between the Niners and the Cowboys, then the Steelers in the 70s. All these dynasties get labeled as they get helped by the refs or they get cheated. Granted, if you ask somebody that was watching the ops from that era, and like when you watch the fans of the team, they'll say, well, yeah. When you start winning so much, eventually you're going to get called because you're doing so much winning. You're on TV all the time. So, of course, their calls get magnified. But at the same time, you don't look yourself into winning and dominating a decade like the Warriors or UConn women's basketball or Alabama football. You're just that good for so long. You're going to get calls that go your way just because you're in all the big games. So, of course, people are going to be upset with you because they're always seeing you in the big spotlight. It's not like they're mad about other teams' calls because the other team is not in the game all the time. So if you're more oftentimes in the championship round, in obviously the Super Bowl, teams are going to nitpick everything you do because you're always winning. Like literally, we've been in this game 7 years straight. So I get why people feel like that. And there are some skeptical calls that don't need to always go our way. That's just part of being a football fan. Like I played ball my whole life, so I know, when you play ball, there's going to be calls that go your way, calls that don't go your way. When you're playing a better team in their house, they're probably going to get a call. It is what it is. That's why most of the times when New England lost, you had to beat New England. You couldn't let it be close. You had to The Jets in the 09 when they went to Super Bowl, you had to go beat them. Or when they lost to who was it when the Titans beat them before Brady's last game? Like, you had to go beat New England. It wasn't like you can make it come down to a last-minute call. So me as a fan, like, I know football is always going to come down to a couple calls, but if you really want to beat the better team, don't make it close. Go in there and beat them from the jump. Don't make it a one-possession game or it has to go like a last-minute drive. If you really want to beat them, make a cushion so it's where not debatable. So I understand that a lot of our fans naturally are trolls, so they don't like to admit the truth. So they always like, no, like, duh, we cheating, we're winning so much. I'm like, well, naturally. But for me, like, I know coming into a game, we're probably going to get a call that goes our way. But naturally, you want to beat the team in front of you and not let the refs involved in the game. But you know there's always going to be calls that don't go your way or do go your way. You just have to figure out a way to overcome them. You don't want to make too many mistakes to where you're complaining about that one play at the end of the game, because we all know one play doesn't define one. It could be a big impact. But you want to win the game so that one call doesn't matter.
So let me ask this, Rad. TJ just admitted that the refs are cheating for them, right? He just admitted.
In a lot of words.
Everybody heard it. Everybody heard it. So, but honestly, so us going into this game, listen, we're going to give a little bit of recap on the Baltimore game and even the Houston game to some degree. But I do want to ask this question about how we feel about it, right? Going into this AFC Championship game, we know that the odds are necessarily stacked against us as it relates to officiating. But, like, do you think Tom McDermott is going to combat that in some type of way, or is it just like listen, we're not going to worry about the refs. We can't worry about that. Let's do what we need to do. Or, I mean, because it is frustrating to see it.
I think, I understand that, but this is the most complete team we've had in my lifetime, right? We play clean football, turnovers, penalties. I think we had a few penalties, and that one against Deion Dawkins was one of the worst holding calls I've ever seen in my life.
That was awesome.
So I know. So McDermott got this team playing the cleanest football they ever played. And I think, that's been going on this whole season, and I think that's going to continue this game. Now, to add to your other point, we know Mahomes is he teeter on that sportsmanship. He teeter, so we know how Mahomes give it up. Pause. So we just gotta be more mindful. I don't think we have those players. We don't have the Hugheses of the world who's wilding out. We got Ed Oliver. We got Matt Hollins, but he on the offensive side of the ball. We don't got the defensive side of the ball players that's gonna take it to the next step. Or I think Oliver came down a little bit. So we don't got that player that go too far sometimes. So I think our defense is definitely better, and I think we'll be a better team. I think the refs maybe have a play in this, but I think our team is definitely more consistent in how we play football. This whole season. So I don't think it's gonna come down to that.
Matt, is it something that you're going to be paying close attention to? The refs.
No, I mean I'm gonna piggyback with Rad too. I mean I think we're a lot more disciplined. I think it's gonna be a little bit more of a sense of everybody, the team who makes the least amount of mistakes is gonna win this game, and I think that's gonna be the message from McDermott this week and the leadership of the team. I think so. I don't think I'm gonna pay too close attention to it, at all.
So let's do this. Let's do this real quickly before we get into the nitty-gritty of the game, right? I do want to talk about some X's and O's stuff in a second. But before we do that, obviously 2 games just happened, and I want to give CJ some time to talk about what he's seen with the Chiefs as it relates to the Houston game, some of the things that he liked and some things that he didn't like. Maybe that may be indicative of what we're going to see on Sunday. And then we're going to talk about the Baltimore game in a second. I want everybody in the comments to chime in, and then we're gonna get really into Chiefs, Bills, and kind of unpack that as it stands. But for you, CJ, you obviously won. It was a little rough game. It wasn't necessarily a shellacking, but from your vantage point, what did you see from your team in that Houston game?
Defensively, we dominated as I expected coming into the game. Obviously, Houston's O-line was struggling all year. So that's a group that I expected our D-line to go out there and impose their will, and they did that from start to finish. They finished with 8 sacks. So I was definitely proud of them to see, because from the first time we played y'all to where we at now, it's night and day difference with this defensive line group. And that's a big part of Joe Cullen, our defensive line coach, getting on them and definitely making guys rise and raise their level of play. And obviously, we know it's playoff time, so you have to be better. And we getting guys like Charles Minihue back and Jalen Watson back. And, when you have your full core of guys, you can fully trust the scheme, fully trust obviously the input that the coaches have in the game plan, and you go out there and execute. So from a defensive standpoint, no complaints from me. They went out there and dominated from start to finish. Offensively, I would like to see us start faster. I think Nico did a great job of giving us a great opening kick return and getting us down to the 15. So that's a point where if you get a great play like that, you get a great return, which doesn't happen too often. You have to take advantage and finish it with a touchdown. So I would like to see us be more aggressive and throw the ball more down the field. I think we only threw like one pass in the end zone during that drive. So that was frustrating. But outside of that, we ran the ball when we needed to. Kelsey had another vintage Kelsey game.
Right.
His level of play raises when he's in these moments in January. So from an offensive standpoint, that's where most of my complaints were. I think we obviously ran the ball well, but we have to be more efficient when we take our deep shots. Because when you see guys like Bateman getting open and Tylan Wallace, like there's opportunities to be made downfield. And when you get those, there's not going to be too many deep shots. And when you get them, you have to hit them. So that's probably the biggest issue I had on offense, just hitting our deep shots. Because Hollywood had a play, got to squeeze that ball. I know it's a tough catch, but you got to make that play when you're in January. That's why we brought you in here. So we don't really throw too many deep shots down the field as much as we used to. So when we throw them, we have to hit them. Kind of similar to the things we talked about last year too.
And we could be honest, Mahomes, like he haven't ever since Tyreek been gone. Maybe the year after he was good, but it haven't been that deep shot is kind of like it's just non-existent.
Yeah.
He don't hit him. I don't know. I mean, worthy a rookie, so he figured that out. But he don't. It's not in his package as of now.
It's not. I
say he can't. Sure. Yeah. I say he can't. He Mahomes, but it just haven't been there.
Yeah, it hasn't been as consistent as it usually has. And we had those same issues last year going into the playoffs, and then magically, it was crazy as to be with me. MVS caught two of the biggest deep shots we had all year versus y'all. I couldn't believe it. So the one with the slot fade versus Taryn, and then obviously the one deep down the middle down the end of the game. So like you said, the opportunities are going to be there because obviously you can't cover everyone. You got to respect someone and give somebody a one-on-one. So when that opportunity is given to you, you have to take advantage of it for sure.
I appreciate it. And we're going to piggyback on a few things that you said because I want to relate that to the game that's going to be played on Sunday. And I wanted to give you opportunity. I know there are a few Chiefs fans in the comments. So, sometimes you got to throw them a bone. You got to throw them a bone.
Throw some up there.
But yeah, throw them up there. Just let people know.
That's my dog, Chuck.
We want to talk about the Baltimore game as well. All right. We do want to talk about the Baltimore game. I want to ask you, Matt, as it relates to the Baltimore game, 25-27. It was freezing out there. I'm not going to lie to you. I was cold. It was definitely freezing out there, but definitely got a good win. Obviously, Josh Allen didn't have like a spectacular game, right? Turnovers kind of won the game, decided the game. But I want to ask you, Matt, as I asked CJ, going into that game, like what did you see that you want to take away? What did you see that you kind of wanted to leave that you didn't like?
Well, the thing I want to take away is, it was the exact opposite of the week 4 game where they went out and punched us in the mouth. We went out and punched them in the mouth. Okay. You know what I mean? We got them, off of their rhythm. We scored. Then Lamar threw the pick. Like we put a little bit of nervousness in them. We sped that up in the first half and we took advantage of everything. Whereas normally we start slow. I think I want to do the same thing this week. Obviously, we don't want to start slow. We want to capitalize early, and I want to take that away from the game. What I want to leave in the game is if we do get up, don't leave the door open for them because we did that this week. We left the door open. We got a little stagnant on offense in the second half, and we let Lamar went ahead and said, okay, let's let these boys, let's make them score on us, and they did, and we obviously came out on top, which I'm okay with, but I don't think if we give Pat that opportunity and Travis that opportunity that we're going to come out on top on that.
Interesting, right? So when you look at the game, were you more impressed with the offense or with the defense as far as controlling the game?
That's a good one. I'm a lean offense, right? Because it's hard for me to pick that because I'm just so impressed with the Bills overall because I keep telling y'all since like 6-7 weeks ago, this is the best team I watched as a Bills fan. And it's not the best offensive team, it's not the best defensive team, but Josh Allen is playing with inside himself. Pause that if you want. And I think he's just the most confident. He understands what he needs. It's great situational football we playing. And it's similar to what the Chiefs turned into. Like they was, the greatest show on icy field, whatever you want to call them. And then they had to transition into something where Mahomes was just playing great situational football every game. So I think Josh has morphed into that. Last year after that playoff loss, I was saying it was some things I wanted Josh to become more of a chess player, do what they give you and not try to force everything. And that's what he's become. He don't have to put on the cape every time unless you need it. And that's how you win games. You don't put your team in bad situations. So I think Josh is playing peak of his powers. I think he's the best Bills team this century. So I think I'm in all of the team. This is a great team. It's gonna be a great game Sunday.
I will say this. Shout out to the game, and I really didn't want to spend a lot of time on these games because the playoffs is it's the next game, right? Like it is what it is. What happened is what happened. Like we got to move forward. And for me, I thought coaching was pretty good in the game. I thought Sean McDermott did a really good job. Players just came to play. They came out.
Yeah, he went 4-3. He went 3 linebackers. I mean,
right.
Crazy.
Like,
I could not believe it.
They like he did what he was supposed to do, right? He did what he was supposed to do. I thought play caller was pretty decent. Coming out and like deferring and getting the ball in the second half. I wish we could have scored, put up at least a field goal, but I mean it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. So you know what I mean? I appreciate the game and that. But I wanted to kind of talk about both games because I wanted to ask everybody, because I want everybody in the comments to answer these questions. Because I told y'all we're gonna unpack this. We're going to unpack this because it's a rivalry at this point, right? It's a rivalry at this point. But I think that from the beginning of when we play, even the 13 seconds game, these are two totally different teams, right? Two totally different teams. But I'm gonna go to CJ first. I'm gonna go to Matt. Then I'm gonna go to Rad. Then I'll answer. I want everybody in the comments to answer this. We go unpack everything. Going into this game Sunday, I want to talk about who has the better side of the ball, meaning defense, offense, and even special teams. And then we're going to go to coaching last. All right. So I'm going to go to CJ first. We can go to defense first. Do you believe that the Chiefs has the better defense or the Bills has the upper hand in your opinion? Opinion.
I think right now I give us the edge defensively, mainly because I think we can truly go 4 to 5 deep up front. Trent McDuffie playing like an all-pro this year. I think he was snubbed from the first team. No disrespect to the guys who made it, but I feel like he played like a top 2, if not the best corner in football this year. And we're finally getting healthy at the right time. We got all of our guys like Jalen Watson back, and we got our full crew up front with our D-line group. So when you got a guys like Nick Bolton on the field, Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, just everybody's in their natural role now. So we're not asking guys to do more than they're asked to do. But since our pass rush run rate from that week, what we played y'all in week was at 8 or 9 when we played y'all, to all the way up till now, it's night and day difference from what our pass rush group looks like. So the group that we had on Saturday when we played the Texans, we were hunting and getting after the quarterback and getting multiple pressures. That's the group that we expected to see last year. And naturally, last year we had the best defensive football, and this year we finally starting to see that group again when you guys like Charles and Minnie back on the field. So I think defensively, I would give us the edge for sure, mainly just because of our DBs. But naturally, y'all group up front's good too.
Matt, who got the upper hand defensively?
Yeah, I would say just, that is what separates us, is that I know I always talk about it, that, we don't get home enough, and especially in games like this, we like guys, it just seems like they don't get there. You get your one-offs, your onesie-twosie, Rousseau at Oliver, they get there, but you got a guy like Chris Jones on the field who's probably going to end up with a gold jacket one day. Him and Karlaftis, those guys really make a difference in the game. So I definitely think they got the upper hand on the defensive side.
Interesting. So we got 2 Chiefs. Rad.
I'm actually gonna lean Buffalo in this aspect because I think their biggest strength, their D line, is our biggest strength, our O line. I think that they know that classes. I don't think we played Chris. Those guys ain't gonna dominate. I think shout out to Deion Dawkins. He looking like a little baby Trent Williams out there. I think he's been excellent. I think our O line been excellent. So I think y'all strength, yes, the D line is good and y'all back end is good. But I think that cancels out. And I think our linebackers is playing great. Terrell Bernard, Teron Johnson. Our turnovers is the key. I think turnovers, we lead the league in turnovers. Continuing into the playoffs right now. So I think that is the ultimate separator of in this playoff is going to be the turnovers. If we get a turnover, we cause a fumble, do something like that. So I'm going to lean to our defense right now because I think y'all strength and y'all D-line, our O-line cancel that out.
Looking at the Houston game, I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, obviously your defense line was dominant, but for me, personally, I'm just to be honest, I think that the Bills do have the upper hand defensively. I'm going to tell you why. simply because I think, honestly, even though I think Rasul Douglas, he probably won't be on the team next year. He's just not good anymore. Shout out to him though. But I will say, as it relates to y'all strengths on offense, and we're gonna get to it, I think that we do match up well with y'all, right? I don't think that I just can't see Kareem Hunt doing anything, right? Just me personally, you know what I'm saying? We were able to contain Derrick Henry, like to be able to do that in the playoffs, even though he had a couple big runs, like we were able to contain him, and I thought that was very interesting for me. You know what I'm saying? I think Milano was definitely getting back to form. I think Dorian Williams is an amazing player. I'm just being honest. I think Terrell Bernard, he's a ball hawk. He knows how to get there. Teron Johnson, even though he has head problems as far as injuries is concerned, like he's a heady player. Like he can tackle. He gets, you know what I'm saying? Even DeMar Hamlin. So I think just as a total, as a whole, I'm not too keen on our defensive line. Everybody knows that. I've been on this show multiple times.
Ed Oliver had a great game.
Yeah. Whatever.
He had a good year. He had a really good year.
What you mean? Ed Oliver was what?
He was okay.
Right.
Like he was all right.
Okay.
Y'all know how I feel about Ed Oliver. I'm not gonna be pessimistic on this show. Listen, the Bills just won a huge game. We have company here. I don't want to air our dirty laundry out of here. But to be honest, I think that the defense led by Sean McDermott it's an elite unit, right? It's an elite unit. We have the best corner in the league. I know you talk about Trent McDuffie, but we legit have the best corner in the league in Benford. Like he's lockdown, shackled. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just facts. Like it's just facts.
Yeah, he has been really good. No, he's been really good.
He's been great.
I feel
really good.
So I think that at the end of the day, I think it's two good defenses going into the game. Right?
Absolutely.
Two good
With
defenses.
two great play callers on defensive side. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about it. Let's go to the offensive side. And I want us to go specifically groups. So I'm gonna ask you, and everybody can answer this. This year, CJ.
Yeah.
As far as quarterback, listen, I'm asking the question. Everybody in the comments can answer the question right now. I'm saying this year as it stands, 2025-2024 season. I'm asking CJ, our guest, to go first. Who has the upper hand at quarterback? Let's get to the nitty gritty, y'all. That's what y'all want to hear.
I mean, as far as like the regular season, Josh Allen had a better year. Like that's not a debate. He should win MVP. I picked him to win MVP after. I think when y'all that first game after y'all played us and then y'all played the Lions. After he won the Lions game, I was like, yeah, he should lock in MVP. Because there's not too many other hard games on their schedule left. I know y'all had New England and the Jets a couple of times, but nothing like really to cement his legacy. Obviously, he's been in the running for MVP for multiple years, so him winning it wasn't a shocker to me. I actually picked him before the season started, so definitely he locked in. So regular season-wise, Josh had a better year, but we all know when January comes around, both of these guys raise their level of play to another level. They both play extremely well when it gets cold outside. So I think in the playoffs, I got to go 15. He's just done it too many times in too many different scenarios. He's done it with guys who can't catch the ball. He's done it with Hall of Fame tight ends. He's done it with 5'9" receivers, 6'4" receivers. It doesn't matter. He figures out a way to get it done. So going into the game, I got to ride with my guy. But for regular season purposes, Josh clearly had a better year for sure, no question.
Matt, who you got, man? Who you taking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go right ahead with that. I mean, I think Josh, has the upper hand this year. I think he's just doing like you said earlier. He's putting us. He's not putting us in bad spots. He's not turning the ball over. They're being efficient. They're scoring touchdowns, and he plays a large part in that. Also, he makes every unit better. This was a wide receiver cast that that was. Nobody was thought of as any kind of threat, and we're scoring 30+ points a game with this unit. The offensive line gave up the least amount of sacks this year. A lot of that has to do with Josh and his escapability and him making good decisions, getting the ball out of his hands. So I think Josh is just going to be on another, like CJ said, they're going to bring their play up a level, and I think Josh has just got the edge right now going into this one.
I got one Mahomes, one Josh. Rad, who you going with?
I gotta go Josh right now. I know this is, I gotta go Josh right now. I know he a Hall of Famer. Mahomes a Hall of Famer. Legacy, I'm not even gonna try to. He's him. But right now, I think Josh is playing the best football he's ever played. I think I think he's just all about winning right now. Right, I think that MVP talk. I mean, he hopefully get it, whatever. But I think he understands what it takes to win. He learned how to win. I think Bill Belichick once said he got to learn how not to lose. He learned how not to lose. Now he gonna try to figure out how to win. And I think now Mahomes has been figured that out. You know what I'm saying? But I think, I think right now Josh at the peak of his powers, and I think right now Josh Allen is the guy.
For me, listen, I love Josh Allen. I really do love Josh Allen at the bottom of my heart. But I know where I stand on these questions.
You got to beat the man to beat the man.
Yeah, it's like Pat Mahomes.
It's foreshadowing for me. I'm foreshadowing.
And shout out to foreshadowing. Shout out to, you know what I mean. Your thoughts become
speaking
into
existence. Right? I don't know.
But Pat Mahomes, he's a winner. He wins championships. He wins Super Bowls. Like I can't negate that fact. Josh Allen has yet to win an AFC Championship game.
This 7 times in a row they've been in this game.
Right, like 7 times in a row, and he loses to Pat Mahomes every time in the playoffs. And all I'm saying is, in order for me to even say that, he has to beat him. Right, I think that us as Bills fans, we have to get to that point where we have to say, listen, we have to beat them. Period. End of discussion. And if we do not beat them, then it is a problem. We can't keep going through this over and over again, beating them in the regular season and then playing them in the playoffs and losing. I'm just being honest about the situation. I love Josh as much as the next person, but at the end of the day, if he can't get it done on Sunday, then the facts is the facts. The proof is in the pudding. Pat Mahomes is better than him by a long shot. There's nothing else to say. Like we don't need to ever have that conversation ever again if he doesn't win. That's just how I feel about it. And that's what any other position matter. Like that's what anything else in life. Like if you keep constantly losing to somebody, stop talking about. Like what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like what?
That's a fact.
Did you say anything else in life? Like you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna get into politics. Y'all know the vibe.
Slogan.
Let me ask you. Somebody in the comments, we have trash safeties, and I just want to talk about some X's and O's real quickly. Y'all don't throw the ball deep, right? So, well, my question is to you, CJ, and I'm going to ask Matt the same thing. As it relates to what you think the Bills' weaknesses are, how do you think that y'all are going to exploit them? Or in your mind, like what is the game plan to exploit the Bills' weaknesses, quote unquote, in a Chiefs fan's mind?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like there's always weaknesses in every team. I think obviously, like, y'all team like from years past to now. Y'all linebacking core, obviously, when you had Edmonds and the crew and everybody, Milano was at his peak play, that y'all had the number one defense when you had Frazier and them coming into KC. And that group gave me more concern just because that group y'all were so fast and so athletic. And obviously, you had like Vaughn when he was younger and before the injury, and everybody was at their peak powers. And obviously, you had Trey Day and everybody out there. It was a really good group. And now you're coming into group, and hopefully Taylor Rapp can play. I know he left the game with an injury. But obviously, in the middle of the field, that's where all your money's made. You know, anytime we play these games, we both take our shots outside the field. But you could tell guys like Khalil Shakir, Travis Kelce, obviously guys like Rashee Rice for us when he was healthy. The middle of the field is where all your money's made. So that's where you have to get guys open. So Teron Johnson's going to make his plays. Trey McDuffie's going to make his plays. So you have to go after your secondary guys. So if Taylor Rapp is or is not out there and Cole Bishop, the rookie for you guys, has to play, that's a guy I'm going to try to exploit. And same thing for y'all. And you probably go after some of our safeties as well. So I think both corners are, like you said, Benford's playing extremely well. Travis is playing like an all-pro. Like both of the corners are playing well. So I think the middle of the field is not going to be it's not going to be a high-scoring game. Every time we play, it's all outside of the 13-second game. It's really been like a tight, nitpicky game that comes down to one possession. So I definitely love the under overall, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. But that's where I'm going to try to attack the middle of the field. I think what Isaiah Likely did, what Mark Andrews did, shout out to that fumble, though. That was tough. That was a good play. That's where you have to take advantage of plays in the middle of the field because the outside shots won't be there as much. You may get one or two every now and a half, but overall, the middle of the field is where both quarterbacks are going to look to attack. So I think you have to take advantage of that opportunity. And seeing what Likely and Andrews did, I think we could probably replicate some of those shots for sure.
It's over 1,100 people watching right now. Listen, like this video, share this video right now. We appreciate everybody being on. It's fact. But let me say this real quick, because I want to ask Matt something, but I want to answer this question because they keep bringing this up. The question is, what more could Josh have done in the 13-second game? I'm going to end it. We don't ever have to answer this question ever again. The answer is this, Swanson: win. Let's move on. All right. Like I don't know why we keep people keep asking that question. Win. That's what he didn't do. Matt, as far as the Buffalo Bills in the offense, let me ask you this question. Do you think that we're going to be able to establish a run, or do you think this has to be a Josh Allen game, quote unquote? Obviously, he did not go off against the Baltimore game. He won that game turnovers. He controlled the game. But this game is a little bit different. CJ said he thinks it's going to be a low-scoring game. We're going to get score predictions in a second. But I just want to ask you as it relates to what are we going to do to exploit them, right? We know that they have a good defensive line. We know that they know what we're going to do. How do you feel we're going to come at this game?
Well, I think our O line is our high point, right? I think they are going to be able to run. You saw some flashes of Joe Mixon last Sunday. He was getting some nice chunks. I think our running attack with James Cook and Ray Davis, they will be able to make some big chunks, and that'll open up the pass game for Josh. And like CJ said, the middle of the field is kind of where we make our money. The crossing routes, Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir, Ty Johnson leaking out of the backfield, those type of plays, the pre-snap movement that Brady creates. He creates a little confusion to kind of open those things up. I think it's going to be this a similar type of attack. I think we're going to kind of keep going with what we're going with, and then we have a great improviser in Josh if things do crumble, if we get Karlaftis and Chris Jones in his face all day, he will make them pay a couple times, I think, with his legs.
Rad, I'm just gonna go to Rad quickly. Answer this because I want to get score predictions. And matter of fact, I'm gonna go around the table. I need a quick answer. Rad, who's the player of the game this game?
Oh, who's the player of the game this game? It is.
Could be anybody.
It's Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen.
It is.
I think Josh Allen's gonna have like 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns.
Okay. CJ, who's the player of the game in your estimation?
Player of the game. Tough. I think it's just he rises up to the biggest moments. I mean, it's kind of ironic. He said Josh Allen. I'm gonna say Pat Mahomes. It's like when a play needs to be made, he makes the play. Like in the Texans game, we were stagnant. We had to find a way to get in the end zone. Pat's ankles being grabbed, he still threw a touchdown. When the moments come, he rises to the occasion. So I got to say 15 for sure.
Matt.
I think this is a quarterback duel. This is the one that everybody's been waiting on. I got to go with Josh too, man. He's got to get this one, right? This is one that's been sitting on the mantle all year long. It's like, hey, this is what I've been waiting for. I got to do it. So I think it's Josh.
I think we want it to be a Josh game, but shout out to Eddie. I think this is a Cook game. I think Cook is going to manage the game.
I'll take it.
I see 150 yards plus.
But Josh goes for two touchdowns from the one.
If you get to the one, it is Josh time. If they get to the one, especially in a game like this, it's going to be Josh time.
I just said I see Cook popping him. I just see he's been running very well. Like he's actually got better as a runner. His vision has gotten better.
He 1K this year.
I like his cuts. You know what I'm saying? I'm just familiar with what he's doing out there.
He won my fantasy league.
So I think he's gonna do a good job. I think he's definitely gonna do a good job. And the reason why I asked that question as far as the player of the game, because that segment is brought to you by our Rad Juice player of the game segment. Had to let the people know that, man. Rad Juice. This segment, brothers and sisters, real fruit, real flavor, real kids. Tired of the same old drinks? Rad Juice is here. Crafted by young entrepreneurs with a passion for taste. Why go Rad, you ask? It's a real fruit adventure. Experience nature's finest in every sip. Pure and clean. No artificial additives. Just pure refreshment. Triple the delight. Explore 3 exciting flavors: peach, strawberry, and tropical. And now you can find Rad Juice at 2 convenient locations near you. 716 Premium, located at 425 Elmwood Avenue, and Sweet Cheeks Cake Bar, located at 1685 Hurdle Avenue in the city of Buffalo, New York. Elevate your refreshment game with Rad Juice. Created by kids, enjoyed by everyone. Grab your Rad Juice today. Shout out to Rad Juice. Had to get that segment in there. Listen. Shout out to everybody on. It's about 1,100 people. We're going to go to score predictions right now. But before we do that, Matt, please let the people know who won the contest last week and how they can enter into the contest this week against the Chiefs.
Yes, sir. We had nobody predict the correct score last week, so we went with the closest to Josh Allen's yards. The closest to Josh Allen's shout out this week, Josh Coaster. Shout out to you. You won the contest this week. Got a $20 gift card to our Glass Smoke Shop.
Let's go.
And then we're gonna end this season with a banger. It's gonna be our last contest of the year. Last contest with our sponsor here. We might add something on later on, but last contest of the year, we're going to do a score prediction contest for the Buffalo Bills against the Kansas City Chiefs. How to enter? You're going to be following us and Art of Glass Smoke Shop on any one of our platforms, preferably all of them. You're going to predict the correct score for this Sunday's game against the Chiefs. And as a tiebreaker, we're going to go with Josh Allen's passing yards. You have until about 6:15 to get those in. So definitely get them in, and good luck.
Please enter the contest. Go on our Facebook page, Overdue Bills Pod, YouTube, whatever, Instagram. You know what I mean? Please get into the contest. Please get into the contest. Shout out to Swanson. Service started at 11, just to let you know. So definitely enough time for us to get ready for the game. But yes, listen, we got to go score prediction. Shout out to Artie Glass. Got to go score prediction. I'm going to go to our guest first. Our guest gets the platform. He's going to let us know who's going to win the game on Sunday. CJ, my guy, my friend, let me know, man. What's your score prediction, man?
I'm going to go. Let me see. What was the line on the game? Was it 46.5 or did it bump? Let me see if it bumped or anything.
If it bumped.
Let me see. Yeah, 47. Okay, that's what I thought. It could always come down to a last minute play with us.
Chiefs minus
Chiefs, -2.5. Yep. I'm gonna go Chiefs 26, Bills 23.
Woo!
Right around.
Nick Buckner.
Yeah, I think both of us gonna score 3 times. Trying to figure out the field goal situation because Bass and Bucker both been good. We're both gonna make at least 2 kicks. So yeah, I'll probably. Yeah, it's gonna be lower scoring. It ain't gonna be that. I ain't gonna play my.
Oh man,
I ain't thinking about it. Like, we gonna score.
Listen, Chiefs Kingdom. He don't know.
That means it sound good for us, baby. Let's go.
Be tough. No, Chiefs money line for sure. Yeah, I'll stick with it. I'll go Chiefs 26, Bills 23. It's gonna come down to a last minute play like it always does. Josh had the ball in his hands. Last minute time we played y'all this year. Obviously, last year we had to end it with the kick, and obviously, unfortunately, he missed it. So it always comes down to a last minute play. Either we get a stop or a game-winning field goal. That's what it's probably going to come down to for sure.
Matt, what's your score?
All right, yeah. Rad, do me a favor. Highlight John Gwelly's comment about us happening this Sunday. I like that. Shout out my boy John from Cigar Vets. Prediction this week: Josh is going to get it done. Going to get over the hump this week. I think I'm gonna stick with the 30 ball, man. I know they got a good defense. We're gonna go 31-26 Bills. 31-26 Bills.
31-26.
31-26.
All right. Rad, what's your score?
Yeah, I got the Bills winning this week. I think we're coming in as the better team right now. I think, we're gonna come in as a better team. I think Josh's gonna play great. I got us winning 28-21 Bills.
28-21 Bills. 28-21 Bills. For me, I do think it's our year. I got Bills 24, and I have the Chiefs 17. I got Bills 24, Chiefs 17. I think the Bills is going to kind of lead the game, and we're just going to keep the lead. And honestly, I was going to push it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's going to be as close as you think it's going to be, CJ. But shout out to everybody. Listen, we appreciate everybody in the comments. We appreciate every score prediction. Listen, enter into the contest. So you can let us know your score prediction. Thank you, CJ, for being on.
Thanks, bro. Every time.
Always.
Every time you come through, bro. Every time, bro.
Feel me every time.
For sure. Definitely appreciate that. And listen, we're going to be back Tuesday, rain, sleet, or snow. You know what I'm saying? At 7 o'clock, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to be in New Orleans. Listen, they're getting the snow ready for us already right now.
You dig?
We got 1,200 too. Shout out to everybody that's watching us, bro. 1,200, man.
Shout out to everybody, man. We definitely love. Listen, y'all know how we end every show with a little bit of that.
Hey.
Peace.
Only Buffalo is going to win it,
Kick your heels up and down.
Let's see why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated.